Welcome back, friends. Today we are taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Gold Label Collections DC Multiverse Superman vs. Doomsday 2-pack. Part of the 85 years of Superman celebration. As ever, we'll peep the aesthetic, the articulation, the accessories, and we'll do a few comparisons before we get out of here. Celebrodious, less godious, speaking gibberish for shodious. Comics original immigrant, Superman is a creature capable of metabolizing solar energy and burning it for fuel. Under the glow of our yellow star, this makes him nearly unstoppable, and one of the most powerful beings within its range. He can also look through your clothes. Getting closer to the figure, it is instantly recognizable as Superman. Of course, I think the proportions are pretty solid. The upper body has a nice bulk to it. Down here at the legs, the thigh portion may be a little short. I do like where the hands hit relative to the crotch, though. And the paint they've chosen, it looks really nice. It is a complete reuse of the old Joker Lip Superman body, though, complete with the tattered cape. Otherwise, it's the Hush Superman, that same head. They've just painted it a little differently, as in they've added pupils and a little bit of blood on the chin, some on the forehead. And otherwise, it's just sort of a battle-damaged Superman. Kind of weak, in my opinion, the amount of battle damage. It's just like extra dark blue cross-hatching in places on the suit. You get these little painted-in tears. And then the tattered cape, which is just reuse from before. So it's also missing the yellow Superman logo, which is featured in the promotional artwork on the box and the included card. So that's also pretty weak. The head, though, the head itself looks really nice, just all on its own merits. This is a nicely put together Superman figure, I do believe. They've added that blue in the hair there. That looks really good. A little bit of gloss here on the skin, too. He looks all sweaty. I like that. And that little bit of blood on the chin. The eyes are painted pretty nicely. The details are hit pretty clean. That S on the chest. Sculpted on cape. Painted on damage.
Painted on dreams!
At least they got the division at the sleeves right, though. Some of them, they paint the ball. That's weird. But I do like the colors that they've chosen. Oh, they've added a little extra like dark red paint down here by the feet, as though he's just been like wading through
He's just sloshing through the blood of his victims.
Yeah, that sounds like the Cal I know. Kind of a weak effort. He's got these grasping hands. And looking underneath that cape, you get the same striated body mold, because it is just reuse of the Joker Lip Superman. You get that here, there, everywhere. And this is sort of the go-to for their Superman bodies of late. And it's really not bad. Looks-wise, they nailed the Superman part, but the battle damage is weak sauce. And this is the creature called Doomsday. The nearly unstoppable thing that killed Superman in the 90s, started life as a wee babe that was murdered and then cloned to be murdered again and again. Physically as powerful as Superman, he punches people so hard their faces turn to goo, he is covered in really painful looking bone spurs, and is understandably really upset about the whole being murdered as a baby over and over again thing. Checking out this figure's design, it looks nice all on its own, real craggy and mean. But for the era, the head is completely wrong here with the ponytail and the way this chin all is, And then, of course, the arms and what they can is reuse of the Devastator figure. So proportionally, it's maybe a hair short. These arms maybe hit a little short. And you get the remnants of the damn sleeves from the Batman costume because of that. Maybe if they had colored him green, I could accept that it was a bits of the containment suit. But it's kind of touted as this sort of throwback Death of Superman package. It doesn't say that anywhere. It's not. It's just the design. The design is wrong for that. Just based on the head, But it is Doomsday, and proportionally, it's got longer legs here, so it's definitely a better fit. And the details, they are nice, but everything has a gloss to it, No, never mind. These bone spurs don't, and these are a softer material here. Great big clown shoes while we're down here. Peg holes underneath those. And they do have these nice sculpt work all over the boots here. Same thing for the legs. I don't think you could reuse any of this from the Devastator, squishy diaper here. It's just the joints under there, how they do. But the sculpt carries all over the thing. And it looks really nice. I think this lower portion is Devastator, so it's a bit small, but they've got this all punched up, you know, here to sort of to account for that. More great big bone spurs on the shoulders, standard ball in a cup style here. That thing's real floaty in there. Great big, nicely sculpted, reused arms. But where else were they going to put these suckers? All that sculpting. I mean, it looks pretty nice. There's just its inconsistencies in how it's all painted, which I guess fits is the way the character is drawn. But these colors aren't necessarily right in that way. It looks good, it does, but for what it could be, it's definitely a half measure. For articulation, our Man of Steel has all of the modern McFarlane amenities, and that includes a head that's just socketed onto this little barbell joint. So that'll cruise around any which way there. A little bit of room in that head that's pretty well cored out just to give you that little bit of extra tilt and whatever while you're up there. I do like that. Flying character, though, it can't quite lean far enough back to make that convincing. As far as, you know what I'm saying, getting your arms out, getting your head up. No, that just pops off of there. They should just cut a little notch there, man. It's a Superman. Do like Hasbro is doing, making a special awesome Spider-Man body, make a special flying awesome Superman body. This is close, you know, but no cigar. Shoulder joints, they are socketed in here, and so it gives you that slight butterfly. It's got this little ring here to cover what would otherwise be a big gap to give you extra range. So it's not like a full butterfly joint, but so if I just disassemble the arm, you'll be able to see this better. Some people are kind of confused as to why they put this piece in here. But yeah, if I remove that piece and socketed this back in, well, you can see it's to cover up this huge gap. And while it's not a true like butterfly shoulder, it gives you a little bit extra. I do like that. Anyway, we'll just jump over here and continue. You get a bicep cut, which I also love. They often sculpt these so tight that it is a little difficult to move, but move it does, and it doesn't scratch the thing up, so that's pretty nice. You also get double jointed elbows, visible pins, and in McFarlane style, they're just inconsistently stiff and just generally hard to manipulate sometimes. But they will come up that far. Wrists are pegged in on a ball joint here, so they'll rotate any which way and hinge relative to the way you have that ball facing. Good times. Down here at the torso, we have this nice diaphragm cut that'll rock side to side pretty well. Doesn't really come forward at all. Rocks back a little bit. And then it is socketed down into the crotch. So that'll rotate all the way around there, and it does get some more pivot and twist, which is great. The way they do the crotch area is just covered by this soft diaper because it's just a bunch of bare joint work underneath there. Big hinges on the legs. They'll come way out to the side. Forward like such. Back like such. Double jointed knee with these big old pins. Yeah, make sure you're getting both joints to work there. And that comes back pretty far. Really kind of spotlighting how short that upper thigh looks, right? Yeah. Anyway, straighten that sucker back out. There's no boot cut or anything, but the top of the boot does look nice, but we've already been through that segment. Since this is the older body, it doesn't have like the shaped joints that are like shaped like the sculpt.
His boots were stained from traveling the river of gore. His victims bled at his feet.
Get that little bit of rock on the ball. Plus, toe articulation. Hey now. Articulating this animal, the head is up on a ball, but it's nested pretty well in here, so it's kind of tight, but the way they have that socketed, you get a lot of nice play here. It'll rotate a little bit, hair and stuff, just depending. And you get this really nice articulated jaw with the hinge there. You can see that pin passing through the sucker, and that'll open this far and close all the way up. That's pretty neat. Head can look down this far, back just a little bit. Shoulders are socketed in. They got the little ball in a cup thing going on here, bigger cup, because it's a bigger ball. You can see that hinge at the bottom. They will come out to the side. All these bones all kind of run into each other. But it will rotate, and the only joint on the arm is just this incredibly heavy-duty one here at the elbow. And you need like both hands there. Get both arms in there to work those suckers. You don't get a ton of range out of it, which is, it's disappointing that it's not resculpted. But it does fit here. One more big hinge. The way the hand is built, it's got this, it's on this big awful hinge. Very stiff, very crusty, kind of showing off both because they are just a little bit different. Torso piece is over this little ball here, and it's got a diaphragm cut that rotates all the way around, rocks side to side, comes forward a little bit, back a little bit even, and then this bottom piece you can really see it's just pegged down into there, this mess of trash that they build here. It's real minimal. It's just kind of joints in here, and they cover with a soft diaper piece for like maximum articulation, which is nice. It's really not bad. It's when they try to make the whole body just some hollow rubber thing and charge full price. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, these will come all the way out to the sides because of that, and they'll come forward pretty far as well, just kind of pushing this softer material out of the way. Back, because he's got no butt to speak of in there. Single joint. And it really doesn't get much range at all, but it does rotate around on that. Nothing else at the boot, but you get these great big hinges here at the foot, coming back this far, forward this far. They rock a little bit, but you don't get a toe cut or anything like that. It's pretty decently articulated for being such a big, jagged figure, but definitely could have benefited from just a rework of the arms. For accessories for the set, essentially you just get an additional pair of hands for Superman. Just some open, perhaps flight hands. They are nicely detailed. They do look like hands you may have seen before. Let's take that Hush Superman again. He comes with these hands and a pair of fists. So you get all of the Superman, and you can sort of mix and match. These guys aren't quite Marvel Legends level, but they are trying with swappable heads. Otherwise, you get the standard couple of McFarlane black plain stands. You don't get like a kick and base like you do with a lot of the 2-packs, but you do get these trading cards here with the artwork, with the old school promotional Death of Superman artwork that features, you know, the logo on the cape. Come on now. This is a more modern rendition here. It is really nicely detailed, and you get this little bit of read up on the back. Pretty meager. It's like they do need to be reminded that they charge an extra $20 for this box set. Bloody Boots Bill here on the left stands about 7 1/8 inches tall, and Doomsday is like 9 5/8 to the top of that hair. For comparison, here they are with some other DC Comics characters, starting with Booster Gold. Oh! Next to Batgirl, Lex Luthor, the main man, Lobo. And here they are next to Joker Lips Superman. You can see the same tattered cape here. The Rock. More McFarlane love with a half-assed classic Spawn. A Raphael from the Raphael 4-pack, review up on the channel now. The Marvel Select Immortal Hulk. And the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee Mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool. Alright, at the end of the day, what do I really think of this McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Superman vs. Doomsday box set? Just all on their own merits, the figures look pretty nice. But for the price, it's a really half-hearted attempt at some battle damage, missing key details like the emblem on Superman's cape, weird choices like extra bloody boot bottoms, and just, frankly, not stuffing some more accessories in the box to make the higher price point worth it are things that kind of bug me here. Otherwise, the Superman articulates how you'd expect, and Big Boy is a little bit clunky, a little bit loose in some spots, and a lot of bit reuse. But where else do you put those Devastator parts, right? Because of Doomsday's size, you're not going to see him as a single card. You might see a deluxe McFarlane-style Mega Fig. But I'm trying to think of what little details they would adjust to resell it. They'll probably just paint it a different green. Is this Hasbro? I don't know. Apparently having a Swamp Thing with a different head sculpt rates another $40. So it's hard to tell with these guys. Overall, I think the set's pretty mid. If it was their regular, like, 2-pack $40 price tag, I'd be a little more comfortable recommending it. For me, I lived this era, and I like the colors they're using on that Superman and that body sculpt on a more traditional version. I feel like there's no chance I'd ever see that Hush one for a reasonable price. And to have a completely unique character here, a Doomsday, in this line is great. That's almost key. The Hasbro Marvel Legends stuff has been seeing a big 90s character push over the last couple of years. And I think the Toddster could get away with some of that himself. I kind of want those key, iconic versions of the characters. For my display, we're finally getting a Wonder Woman several years into the line. And so I guess at the end of the day, it's like, while the McFarlane stuff gets better all the time, This is a box set that costs $20 more than most of their box sets cost, and it features some really lazy reuse. So for me, that would be the final sentence here that sums it all up. As always, guys, I totally appreciate the support. And if you like, check out some of the other content on this channel. Share this video with your friends. And I'll see you guys next time.
Did you try to drink all this piss by yourself?